time. Hi friends, there's something that I want to show you today. I'm going to pour water into these 3 beakers. Please observe how the water flows through each one. So as you can see, the water flows at different speed because these beakers contain different materials and particle sizes, creating different level of resistance. The higher the resistance, the slower the water flows. But to me, this is not just water. At one point in my life, I felt the same way. I kept meeting resistance and it made me feel stuck. But then, through coffee, I discovered that flow is not only about how much water we pour. It is also shaped by the resistance and structure the water meets along the way. To me, this is one of the most important ideas in specialty coffee. A great coffee carries potential, but potential alone does not guarantee clarity in the cup. So today, I would like to show you how understanding and adjusting resistance from origin to brewing can reveal more clarity and balance in this cup. At origin, natural resistance happens where this Panama geisha from Finca Nugo grows at 1,700 meters above sea level. At this elevation, cooler temperature and wider day-to-night temperature changes slows down cherries' maturations. This slower development helps coffee to build aroma, clarity, and complexity. And then controlled resistance happens after harvest through anaerobic natural fermentation. Cherries were still in a low oxygen environment, limiting oxygen exposure during fermentation. This slows and controls the process, intensifying aromatics, fruit character, and perceived sweetness. So as a result, you will experience floral notes of hibiscus and fruitiness of apricot. So in origin, resistance is not a weakness. It helps to shape a clearer and more expressive cup. And now, my role as a brewer is to shape how water moves through it. If the flow is too fast, the cup can taste thin. If the flow is too slow, the cup can taste heavy and dry. So my goal is not to remove resistance, but to place it where the coffee needs it. This coffee was roasted 3 days ago on a hot air roaster for 6 minutes and 45 seconds. This keeps the coffee expressive and easy to extract, while preserving floral aromatic, clean aftertaste, and bright acidity. And then for grinding, I use size 7, around 700 microns, and a slow RPM setting of 3, around 580 RPM. This reduces excessive fines, which can create uneven resistance and slow down the flow rate. And by controlling my particle distribution, I improve bed permeability, helping water to flow evenly and creating clarity. And then for my setup, I use UFO V3 dripper with Hario switch base. UFO unique 80-degree wall angle creates wider and shallower coffee bed, reducing concentrated resistance in the center and supporting faster and more even flow. And with Hario switch base, I can control when water flows and when water stays with coffee. And to complement these two, I'm using a pepper filter made from pulp and lyocell fibers to support faster and more consistent flow rate. And before brewing, I prepare the coffee bed with Storm WDT tool. And this is to create uniform resistance throughout the bed. And for water, I'm using 50 ppm water, balanced magnesium and calcium, heated up to 92 degrees Celsius to express florals and acidity. And for today, I'm using a 2-stage brew method, with each stage uses resistance and flow control differently. And this allows me to build the cup with layers. First, clarity, and then sweetness, and then structure. And today, I'm using 15 grams of coffee and 200 grams of water, a 1:13 brew ratio. And for the first stage, I'll pour 100 grams of water in circular pours and let it percolate for 58 seconds. Here, extraction guided by my choices of grind size, particle distribution, paper filter, and the shape of my brewer. This Lower resistance and faster percolation helps me to capture red florals and citric acidity. And for the second stage, at 58 seconds, I will close the switch. And by closing the switch, I create control outflow resistance, stopping water from passing through the coffee bed. And at 1 minute, I'll pour the final 100 grams of water, shifting from flow-driven percolation into contact time-driven immersion. And this higher resistance and longer contact time helps me to develop sugarcane sweetness, smoother texture, and apricot in the final cup. And at 2 minutes, I will open the switch again and let it percolate for 10 seconds. And with the total brew time of 2 minutes and 10 seconds, the result is clear, sweet, and balanced. And now friends, I will walk you through the sensory notes. Please feel free to write them down as I go. For the aroma, it will be medium intensity of hibiscus, mandarin orange, and sugarcane. For flavor, it will be medium intensity. When it's hot, it's hibiscus and mandarin orange. And as it cools down, it will shift into apricot, red apple, and sugarcane. For the aftertaste, it's medium intensity, long and lingering. When it's hot, it reminds me of mandarin orange. And as it cools down, it will become long and sweet like sugarcane. And for the aftertaste, for the acidity, it's medium intensity. When it's hot, it's vibrant and citric like orange. And as it cools down, it will become lively and malic, like apricot and red apple. And for the sweetness, it's medium intensity. When it's hot, it's fruity sweetness like orange. And as it cools down, it will become fruity sweetness like red apple and sugary like sugarcane. And finally, for the mouthfeel, it's medium intensity again. When it's hot, it's smooth. And as it cools down, it will become round and juicy. And now friends, to assess the aroma, please swirl this Hario server 3 times, lift it up to your nose and smell directly. And please do it twice, alright? Are you ready? Thank you. So this is yours, please enjoy. This is yours, enjoy. And this is yours, thank you for waiting. Alright, may I? Thank you. And to assess all the other attributes of this coffee, please drink directly from this origami sensory cup. But please, only drink it after I call my time. May I? Thank you. And now friends, please give me a moment. I'll be right back. And now, at the beginning, I showed you how resistance changed the way water flows. In this cup, I wanted to show you how understanding resistance can reveal more clarity and balance from a great coffee. Because in specialty coffee, resistance is not always something that we need to remove. Sometimes it is something to shape with purpose. So as you finish this cup, I invite you to face the resistance that you are carrying right now. Maybe what feels heavy today is not the end of our story. Maybe it is the very thing that is shaping us into someone stronger, wiser, and more meaningful. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Jaafar from Malaysia. This is my time.
That was your fifth finalist, Jaafar.